All right.
Welcome.
This was the easiest thing to do in the time that we have.
Welcome to very, very pretentious.
This is episode 20-something.
Wait.
It's been months since we've done this.
We really dropped the ball on summer movies.
Yeah, we've got so many movies.
But we have seen so many of them, so we're gonna do them.
We've seen a lot.
We're gonna do them real fast, like a lightning round.
Have you? I was gonna say, can you put on headphones and make sure that we're not like too hot?
Are we too hot?
Because we're just holding these babies.
No, you're good.
We're gonna do like a lightning round style review of all the movies we saw.
I've got a list
in the summer. So it's the very pretentious summer movie wrap
Summer
up.
movie wrap up.
So we're gonna start with
As I quote everything that says.
well, I guess the first thing, technically, a little bit before summer blockbuster season started, was Free Fire.
Did you guys go see
So
that?
let's do a letter grade, and I guess whether or not you would recommend it, and then maybe any sort of additional thoughts.
B+. Yeah, I'd recommend seeing it. It's a good movie, but it's light on story and heavy on action, and
67% Rotten Tomatoes.
it was good. I would say it was better than that. It was
Yeah.
better than 67%. You've got Charlton Copley and
Brie Larson,
who?
Armie Hammer.
Armie Hammer and his dumb name. He was very good, though.
Now, interesting fact: 67% is the critics' rating, 57 is the audience score.
Wow.
But it's like a niche movie, though. It appeals to people more like us than general like mass market.
I thought it was good for what it was.
Yeah.
Like it was light on story, but it was a really fun movie. I would definitely suggest seeing it.
Did you see it?
Did not see it.
Okay, I would probably. What did you give it, a B+?
I give it a B+.
I would probably give it a B+ as well, for probably all the same reasons.
Yeah, it was fun.
But then, formally kicking off summer blockbuster season, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Sam Terrio, letter grade.
I'm gonna give that a solid A, not an A+, but an A.
Okay. Why?
Well, I thought it was really. You know, actually, I'm gonna put that at an A+. I thought in terms of the
Generous.
I know. Hold on a second. I have reasons. I actually preferred it to Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Wow, really?
There's a reason for that. I thought that it moved along well, kind of taking away from, when Guardians of the Galaxy was Peter Quill's story. I thought it was really interesting, and I was intrigued, and I was actually drawn into the story of this movie being more about Rocket Raccoon as opposed to being strictly Peter Quill.
I think we saw a different movie.
Yeah, I think we saw different films.
I thought this movie was too much Peter Quill.
What's your letter grade?
Probably a B-.
Yeah, I was going to give it either a B- or a C+, just because I think...
You guys are harsh.
Well, no, I think the charm of the first film was that it was all this really new stuff. And the second one, although a well-made movie, didn't have that freshness that the first movie had.
Yeah, it just, like, about halfway through, I was just like, all right, why?
Yeah.
Why did they make this movie?
82% Rotten Tomatoes.
Next thing we saw was Alien Covenant.
Oh, garbage.
That movie was
Trash.
Really disappointing.
Great
It
letter
could have
grade.
been so good. I would give it I'm probably going to say C-.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Like a
C-.
70.
I was going to say
Yeah.
a D.
Really?
Yeah,
Let's
I
see.
really
It
didn't
was
like it.
just really pointless. Like, and all
70% Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah,
so
and
that's
high.
right about.
all the questions it answered
Audience score is 59.
were like answers that I didn't like. Like
Yeah.
I wish they had left it more mysterious.
And not even just that, but things that you're already used to from the previous Alien movies. Like, for me, one of the things that I went really was when they
little
have the
grabby
chest
man?
burster. Yeah,
The little tiny
the chest
man.
burster. That's a complete alien, and you're like,
Yeah. Hey, they
that's
weren't
not right.
They weren't complete aliens before. We did get a little bit of Fassbender on Fassbender action.
Yeah, we did.
so-
yeah.
A+ Fassbender on Fassbender.
That was
that-
the best part of the movie.
That movie was disappointing.
Next thing we saw was, I don't think you saw it, we saw It Comes at Night.
I did not see it.
Okay, probably a B- because it was. I liked the concept of it, but it didn't really go anywhere, and the trailers were misleading and made you think you were going into a full out horror movie.
Sam, what
Yeah.
did you say from
Like an A or B-.
B-? Okay.
Like it was more of like a psychological thriller.
Yeah.
Than like a straight out horror movie.
Yeah.
But I liked it.
But I think I the more I thought about It Comes at Night, the more I wish I hadn't seen any trailers for it.
Yeah, me
Because I
too.
think I would have enjoyed it more. Because I think
Sort of like the Village effect.
maybe my initial reaction to it was, like you said, kind of like a B+ maybe. But the more I thought about it and sat back with it, I think I would give it an A. Because if you separate it completely from the marketing, it's a really neat movie. Especially with the performances and kind of this really vague plot.
Well, and like the most realistic, like what an apocalypse movie would really be like. It reminded me of Last of Us.
Yeah.
Like in tone.
All right. After that, we saw Baby Driver.
Ooh, good one. I'd give it an
A
A.
plus.
Yeah,
A+.
I thought
A+.
it was great. It
From
was
Edgar Wright.
one of the
director
most unique movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
very different from kind of his previous work.
It came
Although,
in for me.
Hazel and I were just watching Shaun of the Dead yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was like, I realized I shouldn't have been surprised that Edgar Wright has such a mind for meshing music and film together.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
that definitely has that kind of vibe to it as well. But yeah, Baby Driver, great practical car stunts.
Yeah.
Great performances all around. A very neat, tight plot. Unless somebody else saw something in between, I think the next thing is
What's the next date?
July 8th. I think it's Spider-Man Homecoming.
Okay, I saw something in between.
What'd you see?
I saw the Minion movie, or not the Minion movie, the Despicable Me 3.
But you have also seen the Minion movie.
I have also seen the Minion movie. I've seen all of them.
Despicable Me 3, go.
I've seen all
Letter
of them.
grade.
I've seen all of them because
This is not what we asked you.
Letter
We
grade.
asked you letter grade.
I'd give it a D.
And would you recommend it?
No.
Okay, moving on. Spider-Man Homecoming.
I did not see this one.
You didn't see? Oh, you haven't seen Spider-Man yet. I thought it was. I'd give it an A. Just an A.
I'd give it an A.
Yeah.
I thought there were good performances. I thought it was a good plot. I thought there was a great twist.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Get ready for that, buddy. Whenever you see it. You know.
But no, I would give it an A. So you are the only one I think who's seen War for the Planet of the Apes so far.
Did you guys not watch it?
I still intend to see it.
War for the Planet of the Apes. I would give it A minus.
Okay.
I would give it an A minus.
are the
I would
highlights?
definitely recommend it though. Highlights:
Harrelson,
Andy Serkis.
Andy
His performance is
Serkis.
fantastic. Wasn't a huge fan of a couple of the ape subplots, and so that brings it down a little bit. But overall, really solid movie. There was 3 or 4 things plot wise where it seemed like there was like a little bit of a continuity issue, but
Between in the movie or amongst the larger Apes franchise?
amongst in the movie itself.
Okay.
The movie itself. Something like that.
Okay.
And now that I'm thinking about it, I'll my first thought was A minus, but I think I'll drop it down to a B.
Okay. You saw Dunkirk, which I haven't
did.
seen yet.
I'd give it a B plus because it was still a great movie, but I left a little dissatisfied just because every other Christopher Nolan movie has like made my brain melt out of my ears.
Right.
And this one just like it didn't feel like if you stood it up next to his other movies, like Interstellar was like groundbreaking in its own right, and this didn't feel like it was. It didn't feel like it was on par with his other work, but it's like Christopher Nolan's one of the best directors around. So when he makes an okay movie,
Yeah.
it's better than everybody else's. The sound design was insane.
So-
and
That's
so
what
was
I've
the
heard.
score.
Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer,
knocks another
what I've
one
heard
the
out of
park.
his score of his score is incredible so far.
So then I think the last thing we have to cover, besides the fact that we saw the.
What about Atomic Blonde?
Yeah, well, we saw
oh.
Fifth Element, the anniversary.
Fifth Elephant.
Which was pretty
Great
fun.
movie. Go
Direct
watch
you
it.
to our episode of Off the Shelf. But yeah, you and I saw Atomic Blonde, letter grade, recommendation.
I'd give it a B minus. The parts that were good were really good, but it got kind of bogged down trying to have a craftier story
Yeah.
than what was there. It
yeah.
just it was pretty predictable.
It's a non-linear kind of thing where they keep cutting back and forth to this debrief with John Goodman and the guy who ends up on the giant tape deck in Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I'd probably give it a C. I think I gave it a 6 of 10 on IMDb because
Yeah.
I think, like we were talking about when we were walking
That's
out
a
of
D.
it was whatever. A plus action. Like the fight scenes are super great, but the
Yeah.
pace and the overall narrative is horrible because
There was a lot of fat on it.
it really slows down in these debrief scenes. But there's probably, I think, the best stunt choreography I've seen this year. in that middle fight scene through
Yeah.
the stairwell and down into the streets. I don't know how much screen time it actually is. I would not be surprised if it was 10 to 12 minutes of a continuous.
I think I read it's about 7.
It was interesting. It was another one of those films that didn't really have a soundtrack. It was a mixtape like Baby Driver or like a Guardians of the Galaxy, where it kind of, I think the slower moments kind of relied on the fact that the music would push them through. Because there was some of the stuff with James McAvoy just sitting there while there's thumping 80s music, and it's is this supposed to make it more interesting? Is it not? But I think there are parts of it that are worth seeing, and there are parts of it that aren't. So I'm not sure if I would wholeheartedly recommend it. I'd say if you're interested in well choreographed action, it's worth the price of a ticket. That poster in the movie.
I think I've been holding my microphone backwards this whole time.
You could be. I don't see a big
It comes
difference
in
the waveform.
at about 10.
But...
About 10 minutes.
Okay, so that gets us about halfway through summer blockbuster season. There are still a couple things left to see before we start getting into the really sad Oscar stuff.
Yeah.
But so that is our lightning round summer debrief. If you hated this video, please like and subscribe to Terrio Studios and get us enough fans
Tell
where we
your
can
friends.
sell you shirts
Yeah,
like
look
this.
at our
at
sweet
'em.
shirts.
Yeah.
It's our logo.
Yeah.
Look at it.
We're matching.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Swell day.